Good morning. Welcome to Wake Up Real Estate, episode 38, March 29th. I have no idea what Ryan's doing. He's trying to pull something. Howdy. There you go.
Get it going.
Yeah. Welcome. We've got a great show for you. Can't wait to share. Please like, comment, subscribe, share, smash the bell. Good morning, Angie. Good morning, Dennis from cold Albany, New York. The sun's shining here. It's a little chilly, but the sun's shining. We're getting up to mid-50s. I'll take it. Oh, boy. There's no leg. Mike, good morning to you. Great arising. Winifred, 504. Is that how many subscribers we're at? I didn't even notice. We passed 500. Let's go.
500.
Let's go. Next goal is 1,000. We want a comma.
Next stop, Townsendville.
I don't think I've ever seen Ryan dance before. That's what we do. I can't wait to see what kind of dance comes out for the 1,000. Tanya, good morning. Ernest, yellow or yeehaw partners. Podnas. Isn't it Podnas? Podnas? I don't know.
Hi, Podnas.
Good morning. Okay. So
question of the day.
Yeah, let's get right into it. Let's try and be more efficient today.
Yeah. Do you have Facebook Messenger chat on your website or any live chat? So what are you doing for live chat on your website, and how do you use Facebook Messenger for that, either through your Facebook business page, through your website? What's your thoughts? I know Ernest kind of was doing a lot around Messenger. I wonder if he's still doing it.
I totally forgot to ask you. I had a phone conversation with one of our subscribers, Mike. I think it's Mike. Why am I drawing a blank? Mike Stearns in California?
Yeah, maybe. Yep.
Mike, I'm sorry if my brain doesn't want to work this morning. Anyway, he was asking a question about the best chat widget. Right now, and I said, I might have to pick Ryan's brain on that.
Well, KV Core makes it really easy to just throw your messenger name in. I think a lot of real estate websites do for Facebook Messenger, but there's a lot of other stuff out there. There's Video Ask, which we've played with.
Yeah.
I use this thing called Get Gist on the Wake Up site. If you look at the chat there, that's a thing called Gist. But yeah, Facebook Messenger. Do you use it to talk to your leads?
And Ernest, whoops, I think you were popping. Mm-hmm. Ernest says, I've got bots attached. ManyChat is great when it comes to messenger stuff. They have comment actions. So if someone comments a specific word, you can have your page auto send a message. That's pretty cool too.
Sure. Josh, that question kind of is a little bit of foreshadowing for your main topic today that you had in the headline, right? You're generating leads directly through Messenger. So we just want to see what people thought of that. You want to hop into the social post of the day?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let me.
Very transparently, I don't have one.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah,
I got busy. I got busy in the afternoon. I spent a lot of this morning thinking, which is hard work for me. And so I'm behind on that.
You'll laugh. We were talking till about 9:55. At 9:58, after a bio break, I went and made this. So very last minute today. So if you're ever at a loss, guys, just go make a quick meme. I just grabbed the first meme over at the meme generator tool we use, the Sims Flip. I saw the dude sitting there and just there you go. So we'll make that an image.
I'm swiping that one for sure.
Yeah, I'll throw that on the site under the images section if anybody wants to use it. But sometimes it's, there's no other text. You just post like an idea. I don't know.
And just the door's open here. I'm going to share a story. I think I've already mentioned this week, but I wanted to provide more context. We got a referral over the weekend, a buyer from Tony Underwood in North Carolina. He referred us a buyer, and I've gotten more detail now, and I thought it would be valuable to share. He had has previously several times been turned down for a mortgage. We are helping him buy 2 homes, one for himself and one for his mom. And because we were looking at and being more creative about the problem solving part of the process. So 2 things I want to say with that. Number one, if you or a potential client has been recently turned down for a mortgage, give us a crack. Won't cost you anything. And who knows, it could turn into a client. And number two, because of the work we're doing and because of stories like that, we are growing very quickly, and we need experienced LOs that understand guidelines and overlays, will think outside the box, are creative problem solvers. So if you know of an LO,
maybe your existing it could be your existing mortgage partner, maybe they're not loving where they're at, just ask them.
Yeah. And I've got a call this afternoon from an LO, actually 3 LOs that were referred by one of my agents in my organization in New Mexico. So Nancy, thanks for that connection. We would love to see if they would be a good fit for what we're doing and be able to help more clients with their mortgage needs.
And Josh, what we're figuring out quickly here with this venture is when you connect the mortgage stuff to the real estate lead and you tailor all the follow-up around that with some of the co-marketing, it gets pretty powerful. And we're still in our early stages. But what it's creating is a lot of demand.
It's until there was a 24 to 30 month period where like you definitely wanted to be the listing agent. And if you were working with buyers that maybe weren't the strongest borrowers, at least in the eyes of the seller, in other words, the type of financing or amount of down payment, et cetera, it could be problematic. However, that has shifted. And we talk with so many people that have been turned down, or either been turned down or had preconceived notions about where they needed to be to get qualified, and being able to help them. So appreciate Soledad that. I'm going to keep spreading the word. We appreciate that. And just let us know. You can schedule a time to chat with me. You can go to our co-marketing page on wakeup.realestate/co-marketing. You can find us. We're out there and interested and want to have those conversations and want to see if we can help.
Let's get this quick question out of the way because it's a great question from AG. Are you using YouTube Live for these sessions? We're using StreamYard, guys. It's a great tool. So you could do the same thing we're doing in your local market. Maybe do a wake up show. We've talked about that before for your market, but that's
I still can't get that out of my head. And one of the reasons why is because StreamYard makes it so easy to live stream. We are, whether or not you realize this, we are live streaming this right now, 8 different places at once. You don't have to do it 8, but you can do up to 8 places with StreamYard all at once. And then immediately after we turn this off, end the broadcast, it's available on those platforms on replay. It's very
we're on LinkedIn. We're in a couple Facebook groups, our personal Facebook pages, YouTube, of course,
obviously, Twitch for some reason. I don't know why. I mean,
the kids are there.
Good. Yeah. I mean, who knows? Who knows? Anyway.
Right.
Mark, you always want to be the listing agent. Okay. I understand that perspective. And also, I've heard, and I've even made compelling cases on the other side. And so I think their listings do equal leverage, but depending on market conditions, depending on how your business is set up and structured and so forth. I mean,
wait till the buyers start paying the buyer agency commission in a few years.
Yeah. Well, then, that creates a new.
But I'm just trying to get comments. I'm trying to stir the pot.
Yeah, but so here's the takeaway for that. Like, if you're not providing actual value, you should be scared. If you provide actual value and service beyond being a door opener and a document uploader, like
a sign placer.
Yeah, exactly. So, and listings are also buyers in many cases, 100%. And listings also, birth buyers, right? You get lots of buyer
to list to exist.
Yeah.
Who is that? Like list a Mike Ferry thing?
List to last. List to last. Yeah.
Is that Mike Ferry? It's got to be some old school
guy. Probably.
Yeah.
Anything on the mortgage front? I don't think we've checked in on that.
Nah. We can look. I'm forgetting. Control-Shift-B bookmarks. It's funny, Josh. Yesterday, just a funny underwriting story. Michelle had to send a little piece of paper to finish up this mortgage thing, and she took a screenshot. And I had to remove my bookmarks bar. And this is just a tip for everybody, because I was like, what if they see something in the bookmarks bar on the screenshot and decide This is how silly it can get sometimes, right?
Yeah.
I had something that said credit pool groups. I have no idea even what that is, but they might have thought I was getting credit repair or something.
Right. Yeah.
I'm mentioning that because I was pulling up my bookmark here to get the mortgage interest rates. Little tangent. Just be careful, guys, what you send underwriters. That's my mortgage tip of the day.
Yep.
All right, so mortgage rates. This is the volatility index. Let's look at. We're up a little bit. We're at 6.6. And then let's look at our 30-year fixed. Yeah, it's trending back up the last day or two, Josh. Is that what you're seeing?
Yeah. Here's one note I'll make on this, because I had a conversation with Jordan on our team last night. I've got a client, we're writing up an offer this morning. They're pre-approved conventional 97%, so 3% down conventional. If we would flip to FHA, we would get a significantly lower rate in their particular scenario, a significantly lower rate and a significantly lower payment, even if the rate were apples to apples, because of the lower amount of PMI. So now, when you're in a competitive bidding situation, a lot of sellers will value or choose a conventional mortgage over an FHA because it's another layer of complexity or potential red flags. But just keep in mind, like, in the interest of being a fiduciary for my clients, that was something that I wanted to check in. Like, hey, could we get them a better deal? Could we get them a lower monthly payment by looking at alternative options? So,
I think my prediction, Josh, rates are going to come up to about 6.4, and then they're going to go back down again. I'm just kidding around. I'm playing with charts.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, Brian says the buyers are really paying the commission now, but for the buyer, there would not be a transaction without the buyer. Yes. Honestly, it's a semantics argument. Let's be honest. You can make the case on both sides who's paying it. It's a matter of semantics. Without the buyer, there isn't the money to pay the buyer agent commission and the listing agent commission, and also the seller has to agree to that. Otherwise, it won't proceed either. So it's, I don't know. I think there's some semantics involved. I guess at the point.
If you guys want a really good read, this is Greg Swan over at Bloodhound Blog. You'll have to just Google this, Consumers Guide. But he talks a lot about the argument for why the buyer should actually be paying the commission, and what the issue is. This is from 2007, which is really interesting too. Yeah.
Wow.
So not a lot has changed.
Yeah.
All right.
So a couple of things. Number one, Mike, we've got two resources today that I'm going to share that you'll find in the description. And if they're not already on the Wake Up site, they will be added to the Wake Up site with the replay of this session. Number one is the open house checklist that I was sharing and we were brainstorming yesterday. And Mike, I didn't let you know that, but Mike prettied it up. Mike made it a lot better looking, and it's a work in progress, which is why I love using Google Docs, because we're gonna add more to that, and you'll always have the most current version. And specifically, what I'll be adding is it's a checklist, but then I'll be adding the tutorials. Like, here's how to do X, here's how to do Y, here's how to do Z, etc. Anyway, that's number one. Number two is a document related to the Facebook Messenger flow that I'm going to share here that I turned on, I don't know, a couple of weeks ago now, or maybe it was last week. And we are having actual conversations with potential clients for $2.31 per conversation.
Who's having the conversation?
Well, that's the thing. So Ernest is going to cringe. The way it's happening right now is I have it scheduled in a window of time, and Mike is actually having those conversations.
Yeah.
The reality is we should be using a bot and using tech and
or a central inbox alongside all your other leads. So
exactly. Yeah. So we need to figure that part out first. But where I always go is, let's make a mess and then figure out the mess.
Heck yeah.
Or let's get the result and then figure out how can we better systematize the result.
Ready, aim, fire. Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to share my screen.
You just tell me when I need to tone it down. All right.
Yeah. No. Listen, I love it, and I think it's a good. We're a good match. I think is the point. I'm more the straight man, and anyway, here is the ad. Now I have no idea why. I'm going to show it on my phone. I have no idea why in this. Like there is an image with the ad, and for some reason it's not showing it here. But I'll show in my. I look at my my Facebook ad manager app often, and so I'll show that in a minute. But I just want to give you an idea. What's that?
I love the first comment.
Oh yeah, this is great. That's why I was like. So anyway, this is the text that is above the image, which doesn't make sense without the image. But I wanted to show. I already had it pulled up on here, and you can see there's a bunch of comments here. The first one is great. She said, I read this as tired of parenting, and I got excited like someone was going to help me. So that was great. And then I'll open up the, I'm not going to show a bunch of the inbox here, but I should have brought Mike on here. Maybe Mike, you can comment. How many have we gotten to a point where you'd say like, you know, they've given us, they've given us enough pertinent information that we've added them as a sort of warm lead. Oh, this guy's sending audio messaging. Many people don't read. Okay. They don't read the fact that you must be currently paying at least $1,300 in rent. So many people don't read that. That's fine. Because here's the reality. I know, and this is good. I think this is a good thought experiment. Anytime you're running marketing, I'm going to stop sharing the screen for a minute, and then I'm going to share my phone so you can see the image that's with it. But anytime you're testing a campaign, I think you have to reverse engineer. How much am I willing to pay to get one client from this campaign or marketing experiment?
Can I take a step back? Can I take a step back and interrupt a little? Yeah. I've talked a lot cost per conversation too. A lot of people measure cost per lead, and it's like usually $2 for the lead. In this case, you're getting a cost per conversation of $2, which is further up or down the funnel.
Right. Because if you think about the client, if you think about getting a client as like a timeline or a pipeline, right? Everybody talks about a funnel, and that has relevance too. But it's, they don't know you, they haven't met you, they respond to something. You have some kind of conversation. There's an appointment. Now we've got them out looking at houses and then settlement. Like you can't go from here to here. You have to if you skip any of those steps, you're never going to get to the end.
But you're kind of skipping that very first one. That's what's interesting here. You're going right to the conversation.
But I would say that the conversation is sort of both of those, right? Because here, I'll share my, I'll do my mirroring here.
See, I would
share what it looks like.
I think most of us should be willing to pay $50 to $100 for a good conversation. We have this number in head for what we pay for a lead, but the real question is, when I go to a lead vendor and I buy a lead, what's it cost for me to get in a conversation with that lead? Not what does it cost for me to get some contact info?
Yeah. Ryan, can you switch to the mode where it's sharing my screen? Because now it's in full screen mode and I forgot to do that first.
Yep.
Okay. So this is the campaign. So I'll show the ad and then I'll break down some of the metrics just for those who are curious. And by the way, Mike commented, we've spent $61 so far on this, and we have somewhere between 5 and 7 warm leads, meaning Mike has had a lengthy conversation. We have their name, we have their email, we have their phone number. We know what they're looking to buy. We know when they're looking to buy, and we've sent them some properties that fit that criteria. And now we're trying to do what Ryan's meme said was, we're trying to get them pre-approved, right? Before we get out and looking at houses. Although, and this is a topic for another day, like I'm not going to not take somebody out because they haven't gotten to that point. We'll go and show a property or two. Now we're not going to look at a bunch without going down that road, but that's just an opportunity to deepen the relationship and ensure that when they buy a property, they'll use you or your team, etc.
You make a new friend.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so this is the image with it. Again, I don't know why in that preview it wasn't showing it. And we've tried other images here. This isn't the only style of image that will work. You could have one where it's more like a, you could have like a picture of a, a property in the, I'm trying to think of what the, like a Canva template where it's, I don't know, the multiple boxes. There's a name for that, and I'm just drawing a blank because my brain doesn't want to work this morning. But it's very clear here. Sick of renting, so we're calling out renters. Okay, message us your monthly rent amount, and we'll send you 3 homes you can own for the same payment. Okay.
That's really cool. That's a good idea.
And in the past, I don't know when they changed this rule, but there used to be a rule in your Facebook ads that if you had more than 20% of your image was text, that you'd be punished or that it may not show. They've kind of done away with that. So, pretty simple and straightforward. By the way, this also, this breaks the terms of service, but it works like crazy on Facebook Marketplace. I don't know if you can still do it, but that's where this idea started and where I actually picked up many clients, I would say early 2020, using this strategy for free on Facebook Marketplace. Okay. So you can see here that now what's interesting with this is the 26 conversations, 236 per conversation. That does not include all of the other engagement that is happening on the page, because we're getting people that comment their rental amount, and then we start a conversation. We'll comment back, and then we'll message them. So the reality is we've gotten more like 30 or 35 conversations going with these folks. Okay. Now I'm sharing this just because that's the point of the show. Like, we're an open book on all of what we're testing. I'm not suggesting that you should do this. I'm not suggesting that, you should be, building a pipeline of these type of clients. We're just open book here. Right. And when you're talking about the fastest way to get into live actual conversations with people in your market about buying a home, like, it's hard to beat that. So yeah, a collage. I was looking for a different word for that, but I don't know. A grid style.
So can you talk more about the structure of what's going on there? So you don't need to just do this for the comment your rent, but you're asking for a specific answer related to them.
Well, this is a great point of the show. This is the one way that we've found that we've consistently gotten activity, but I'm sure there are other things that we could do. For example, taking the starter homes ad that you shared yesterday, I'm sure we could turn that into a messenger style, conversation style ad. Comment below starter, and we'll send you a list of all the available starter homes here in Manatee.
And with ManyChat, you can actually automate the response to that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the benefit of that, okay, so just I'm going to be Captain Obvious here, but like, this is real, like you're having an actual conversation with folks. And with Facebook Messenger, you can send video replies through there. You can send audio replies through there. You're having actual conversations, and you can set up a campaign where if you know that you're going to be at your laptop from 8:30 to noon every day or most days, like, you can set it up so that it only runs in those windows. I have it. It's $150 test. If we can get a client for $150, that's worth it. And then we'll figure out how to automate more of it so it doesn't require Mike to be, manually being the one having the conversation exchanges.
Well, you could build a bot for the messenger. I don't know if we want to go down that road, but definitely a lot of what Mike's doing could be automated.
Totally.
Pushed into KV Core and all that. But the one reason I don't do a lot of messenger bot stuff is because it's geeky. It's a
rabbit hole. It's a rabbit hole for sure. Yeah. It definitely is. And that's why I think, because I've done those before. I've used that. We've set things up like that. You know, the other thing that happens is if they go off script, it can throw it off, and I don't know.
Can I show you? Can I show you an alternative to this conversation? I mean, you know this alternative, but I'll share with everybody else. I'm having trouble with the like screen thing today.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
I think something changed with the layout.
Yeah, maybe.
But this could be built in Messenger format. But Josh, as you know, we're driving Google to this. We're driving a little bit of Facebook to this kind of stuff. But for me, this is the flow you want to have. You want to kind of ask that first question and then bot tree them down the next stuff. So you could use Lambot, you can use Messenger bot, but I really like using static pages, and I feel like it's easier than ManyChat. The upside to Facebook, though, Josh, is you got their Facebook profile.
Right.
So,
and the other upside there that I would say in this particular example is Facebook Messenger is as close to a text conversation as there is. Like the open rate and the response rate and so forth, it's like you're texting with someone. And let's face it, people would rather text, or the majority of people would rather text than have a phone conversation. And you can use that medium until the next logical step would be a phone conversation or going to look at a property, right? Like I have had so many transactions over the last 3.5 years. Is it 3.5 since I went back? Where I literally did not speak to them anywhere other than either Facebook Messenger, text, or email until we were looking at a property. And in some cases, because I wasn't even the one showing them a property, like I've had transactions where the first time I had a phone or personal exchange with them was at settlement. So I'm not suggesting that you have to do things that way, but you know, something that I have believed in for many years, and Ryan, I know as well, is allow the conversation to progress on whatever channel they're comfortable with until it's, you know, it's an absolute necessity that it change channel, right? What I think can scare people off is, and I'll use this example here, if they messenger chat and you're like, hey, what's your number? I'll give you a quick call. Boom, gone. They will ghost you, right? Just have the conversation there until you get to a point where, you know, hey, it might make sense for us to have a quick chat at this point. It sounds like your situation is a little bit unique or complicated. And I just want to make sure that we're doing the best job for you, right? Instead of like immediately, it's, you know, it's that cliched analogy of like, you know, asking someone out for coffee and then asking them to marry you, right? Like, let's go through the courting process a little bit before we go to, you know, let's get married kind of thing. So.
Tanya, I don't know how to say the name.
Tanya,
but
Tanya. I did confirm that. Yes.
Tanya, I emailed you to log in. Sorry about that. But you have it. And if anybody else is having issues logging into the site, we've done a lot of different stuff the last month or two. So it's possible you signed up for an earlier version and things got messed up. So
this is a great question, Tanya. Thank you.
Sorry.
How can we figure out? No, that's all good. How can we figure out the homes to show them that are the same as their rent? So there's no perfect way, okay? But what we try to assimilate from the conversation. I don't even know what assimilate word means. Like I don't know why I said that word. We try to determine from that conversation as best we can a couple of homes that loosely fit that payment range in whatever area they're looking for. It's not going to be perfect, okay? And you know, you just kind of make your best guess. Like, you know, if someone said 1,300, we're going to be sending them homes that are probably 150 to 180. And the thing, if they come back at you, you know, well, how would this fit my payment range? Like you're making this, you also don't know what they have for down payment. Like there are so many variables and factors in there. Just try and send them something to get them looking at homes that they may be able to, you know, to afford based upon what they've shared. I think, you know, as long as you're making your best effort there, that's all you can do. Mark, have you run it on Craigslist? I haven't, but I haven't for a while. I feel like I've done that at some point. but I haven't been doing that lately. You certainly, it's worth a try, I suppose. That kind of ad, just like posting it on Facebook Marketplace, is going to be against their terms of use. Let's just be honest. Like, they don't want those kinds of ads out there. Now, if you put it under the services, the real estate services section, that would, on Craigslist, it would probably still, fall under their terms of use. But yeah, it's worth a shot. Ryan, you were playing around over there. I don't know if you were messing with the wake up site or editing anything, but did you have anything else for the good of the group today?
No, just to check the images page. We've been adding some more stuff. I also quietly threw some lead gen pages in there. They might need a little more documentation, but you can check those out. Most of those will feed our
perfect tease for Tech Tip Thursday, because that is tech. It's technology. So maybe we'll spend some time tomorrow checking that out and showing some of the other cool tech stuff that Ryan is playing with. For example, he mentioned a chat widget that we're testing on my site. We've got a hello bar top of the page style banner that we're testing, which, by the way, Ryan, I'm pretty sure that one lead that we were emailing about, I'm pretty sure that actually came from that, if that's possible.
Yeah, I think it did too.
Yeah. Yep. So it's generating it. We generated a lead from my website that was a long form lead with a lot of what they were looking for. It was a long form lead. It was not just their name, email, and phone number. It was like, I'm looking in this area. I'm looking in this price range. I can't remember if she said first time home buyer, but I do believe it was a home to live in. Like, it was a lot of detail that we can use to in our follow up and follow through process.
Yep.
Jennifer, I'm getting inquiries on my listing from Facebook Marketplace, but no one's really converting to active leads. I'm sure it's something with the conversation. 100%. So I'd be interested, and I know, Jennifer, you and I had a call. I'd be interested to see, and it probably the easiest might be, Jennifer, if you just screenshot for me some of the like how you're responding, and particularly where in what you're responding with, where you're getting quote unquote ghosted, where the conversation dies. And without seeing that, in my experience, the best way to keep it going is you've got to ask questions, and you've got to start with simple questions. And, or a better way to put that is like binary style questions. And then as they open up, then you can ask more open-ended questions or questions that may require more detail. So, for example, and Ryan showed it in his form flow, right? Like, hey, thanks for your interest. Are you looking for a home for yourself, or are you looking for an investment property? Hey, thanks. I wouldn't go right for this first question, but it's just another binary question. Do you already own a home, or are you currently renting? Right? Questions where it's an A or B response, not, hey, tell me a little bit more about the home you're looking for. That would be more down the pipeline of, you've had conversation that clearly, you've started to establish some rapport. They're engaging with you. And then you can ask, you can pivot to some of those.
And open-ended requires more energy for people.
Yes.
So.
Yep. And Tanya, we'll get you squared away. It might just be a weird glitch that's happening right now.
No, I sent the email.
Yeah.
So.
Winifred, thank you. Assimilate, take in information, ideas, or cultural or culture. So I did use it correctly. I had the right context. I just, as I said, I was like, I don't know why I use big words sometimes. I'm not a big word person, and I don't even know, I know contextually many times that I'm using the right word, but smaller, easier to understand words work just the same. Anyway, so tomorrow, Tech Tip Thursday, that's what we've got on the plate for you. Jennifer, if you send that out, I'd be happy to take a look and maybe make some recommendations. And if you don't mind, maybe we'll even hit on that tomorrow. Like, here are some of where we were seeing those conversations start or stop, because I think that would be helpful for those. Once again, some things in wrapping up. We'd love the opportunity to chat with you on the mortgage side, to be a second opinion, to help your folks that maybe have been previously turned down. Just schedule a time to chat with me, or go to wakeup.realestate/co-marketing. You can, even if you have somebody, you can submit someone that will be in intake. We have an intake form. That's what I was looking for. An intake form. You can submit somebody. We can get working on them and see how we can help them ASAP. Please like, comment, subscribe, share. If you're listening on your favorite podcast platform, subscribe, rate, and review. And we hope that you all have a great rest of the day. Ryan, did you have something there?
No, Tanya, I just tested that. So it's your perfect email, the one with perfect in it, and then the password I emailed to you. And I tested it. It should work fine. Use a different browser or clear cookies or something. Something might be getting confused.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I think we're good for today, right?
Great. We'll have more good stuff tomorrow, and we'll see you then.
See you later, guys.
Smash the bell.